Welcome back to WagerTalk.com. NFL playoff action. We're going to get a play from both Ralph and Preston here. And we're going to start with Preston, and you're going to be looking at the Green Bay-Dallas game on Sunday. And we're going to take a look. This game opened up Dallas -4, a total of 51. Current line has Dallas at 4.5 right now with a total of 52.5. Betting on this one, no surprise, 64% of the tickets are on Green Bay. The public loves Aaron Rodgers and what they've been doing right now. And an even bigger no surprise is the fact that the world is on the over. 85% of the tickets are on the over. And to make that number even more impressive, 93% of the money bet has been on the over. They're looking for a high-scoring game in this one, guys. Preston, what are you looking here?
You guys know I've been riding the Cowboys like all year long before the season, and nobody's giving them credit after I guess it ended up being a 13-3 season because they kind of punted that last game away. But I mean, that's a fantastic year, and just because they have two rookies in the backfield, magically they're not going to be able to do it because they don't have experience. And I get that experience is very important in the playoffs. But so is rest, and they got a week off while Jordy Nelson got injured and Ty Montgomery banged his foot up for the Packers, and the week before that, most of the Cowboys got to rest too. And so I just think it's kind of getting to the point where everybody's just counting them out. And I kind of like Dallas now. And I'm going to wait to see if it comes back down to 4. Because like you mentioned, I didn't actually look at the numbers, but just in general, I think it's pretty obvious that most people are going to be backing the Packers in this game. It just seems like, after what they did to the Giants, and it's Aaron Rodgers, and they're kind of a public side anyways, even though I guess Dallas could be at times. At this point, Dallas is kind of the contrarian, lay the points with Dallas. And when you actually look at the matchup, the X's and O's, Green Bay, if you have a rookie quarterback under center in his first playoff game, why not play the second worst pass defense in the NFL, the Green Bay Packers pass defense? You run the ball just about as well as anyone in the nation, and the Packers run D's commendable. It's about, a little bit better than league average. But on the flip side, Dallas is better defensively against the pass. Obviously, they're not last in the league, but they're really, really good against the run themselves. And I just don't know if Aaron Rodgers can do what he did, like he did against the Giants, and just tear them up without his weapon. We've seen them play earlier in the year without Jordy Nelson, without their guys, and they struggled at times. And trying to prepare now, you're gonna need Randall Cobb and Devontae Adams to have huge games, and I just think Dallas is going to control the game and ultimately win. And so I like 4 or better. That's what I'm going to wait for in this one.
Yeah, you look at last week's game, and I'll admit, I had the Giants last week. Going into that game, Green Bay, as good as they've played, their pass defense had given up 300-plus yards, 3 straight games, and that wasn't against stellar teams. And last week, the Giants, although they held them to under 300, 295, if you get just half of the drops that the Giants had last week, it's well over 300 yards. I just, I got to agree with you there with the Cowboys on that side. So you're looking at the Cowboys, you're waiting to see if the number comes down. I think it will, because the public, I think, is going to come in and bring it to 4. The problem is I think you're going to have to run to the window and grab that 4, because I think the Sharps will come in and grab the 4 and push it back to 4.5. Ralph, you're looking at a game on Saturday. You're looking at the big one, Houston at New England. This one opened up New England 16, a total of 45. Current number has it at 15.5, 44.5. Now, when I said it opened up at 16, I think offshore it opened up lower, but I used Westgate here in town, the first book, to bring it out. I know offshore come out a few, earlier, but I'm going with what I saw here on the Strip, and the public did take that up to 16 right away. Vegas not, shy about putting up a big number, because I think, quite frankly, they're tired of getting smacked in the chops with all this New England money every week.
Biggest number since 1998 in the playoffs. So we have, almost an 18-year stretch. Now, it would only make sense. The biggest line in almost 20 years, and the number 1 defense. Who am I going to take? Well, I'm going to take the Patriots. I look at what Belichick does when he preps for a team the second time around. They beat Buffalo 41-25. They beat the Jets 41-3. They beat Miami 35-14. The defense knows how to handle a quarterback, especially when they've already seen him. The last playoff game New England was in, a home loss against Denver. They're fired up against that. They have the Texans coming in. The Texans, 1.6 TDs per game. That's the lowest any playoff team has scored since 1939. Houston averaging 288 yards per game on the road, 14.7 points per game. If New England gets 30, which I think they will, 28 to 30, they cover the spread easily. Houston gets 7 to 10 points in that range. A crazy line. Big favorites since 1994, the last 22 years, 16 points or more, are 3-0 ATS. New England at home.
Lay the points. And as far as the betting's going in this one, 75% of the tickets have been on New England. No surprise there. 59% of the tickets on the over. Money-wise, 81% of the bets on New England and 67% though on the under. You've got more tickets on the over, but the sharp money has actually been, I'm assuming the sharp money, more money's been on the under, and you just don't see the public betting the unders in these games. They're always gravitating to the over, especially when you got a game that, if you're talking correlated, the thinking would be New England, if they're going to cover, they're going to score a lot of points, and you're going to look to the over. So interesting break on the total, and I'll actually have more on that in another video when Tony and I break down. I'm going to have a play on the total in this one. Guys, if you want to save $10 this week, use coupon code Clemson and the number 10. That's Clemson and the number 10. You can use it on any daily package this week. Use it on the Weekend All Access. And the Weekend All Access, $59 price change this week. Since football season is over, no more Monday night games, we're going to run the Weekend All Access Thursday through Sunday instead of Thursday through Monday, and we're lowering the price by $10. So if you use the coupon code, you can get that down to $49. That's it for this one. We're going to be back with more. Tony and I will be breaking down a couple more playoff games for you here at WagerTalk.com.